Hi, Samantha. I
Hi,
appreciate
Rick.
you taking the time to do this.
Hi, nice to talk to you.
Uh, You know, um, I'm guessing as an actress, this is a very interesting role in that, she's a little complicated. The temptation is to see her as this sort of angry, mean person that, has no soul and, the sort of stereotypical thing. And as the episodes play out, you realize that there's a lot of nuance and she is at a spot because of the way that she's been raised.
Correct, correct. I think I hope that people don't just see her as angry and mean. I think that because you start the show, you see her childhood and how she's treated, and actually, for Catherine, it is about survival, and then it becomes about love, and then it becomes about the country, and then it becomes about peace. So she's not only thinking about, it's not a narcissistic role, it's not a role that's about ego, but ultimately she has to play a very, very vicious game of chess in order to keep peace and that level-headedness around the court.
Certainly, one of the interesting aspects of the show is that you're playing her and you have Liv playing a younger version of you. And I saw a previous interview of yours where you talked about the fact that you didn't really want to see what she was doing, that you wanted to have sort of your own take on it, that you didn't want each other trying to adjust your performances to match the other person.
In a way, it wasn't that I didn't want to see her. It was that we weren't filming at the same time anyway. I was in New York shooting a movie and Liv was on set. So we had a lot of Zooms. I didn't want her to feel closeted by the fact that I was going to play older Catherine. I wanted her to have a freedom in order to interpret the role how she saw fit. And I think that people change a huge amount from when they're 14 to their 30s, so there was room for interpretation of that. But we did have a voice coach that worked with Liv, who I'd worked with before, to kind of guide Liv in regards to just some similarities in regards to pace and how we kind of carried ourselves.
I think one of the things I like about the show is a lot of times, history is written by men, and it tends to be sort of men's version of what history was like. And it doesn't feel that way. This feels very much like her take on this is what happened. It's not filtered through someone else's eyes.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting way of looking at it. We have, this is based on a book by a woman, Leonie, and you have then you have Justin, obviously as a male writer, but telling that story. But what we needed was somebody that had a huge amount of empathy and a huge amount of talent. And that's what Justin has in abundance. So when I was first reading the scripts and I was asking questions, okay, who's making it and why are they making it? And we had conversations. It was just, extraordinary that her story was in safe hands as well,
Was that sort of one of the things that helped you determine that you wanted the role, was making sure that it was the type of take on the character that you were comfortable with?
Yes, the right people, with integrity and the right reasons for making the show. Also, for me, in order to bring everything I have to something, I need to make sure that everybody else is in it for the right reasons and they care, and that we have talented team, whether that be the cinematographer, the costume designer, the hair and makeup designer, Justin. We were so lucky because not only did Justin write this and was the showrunner, he directed most of the episodes. And that was incredible to have that closeness with somebody just to take it all the way through. So it was amazing.
You mentioned when you were first reading the scripts and going through them, from an acting standpoint, as you're reading the scripts, what was sort of the biggest challenge that you saw? I need to make sure this happens, or this is what I need to make sure I get done.
I think the authenticity of the pieces to camera, that was really important, that they felt that they were right rather than just put in as a story plot. It had to be truthful. It had to be that's Catherine's inner voice. And, and at times there's humor to it where she's like, it's like she's talking to herself. It's And at times there's desperation. And as the series continues, I don't want to give away too many spoilers. At times there's utter heartbreak and you see the internal workings of her. And I wanted to make sure that that was right.
Well, it's certainly, from what I've seen, I think 5 episodes of it, really enjoyed it.
Great. Brilliant.
Yeah, I thought it was really great. And I'm looking forward to everyone seeing it. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you.
Have a great day. Thanks.
Take care.